Jai Jai Shankara Hara Hara Shankara. In the last week, we spoke about the significance of worshipping the Kuladevata. Though the video was in Tamil, plenty of people requested me to share the same in English. There are plenty of problems the individual faces by not worshipping the Kuladevata properly. Today, most of the people, they don't know who the Kuladevata is. They are all highly educated in the academic world, but they have failed their ancestors, as they have not asked the ancestors who their Kuladevata is. What is their Varna? What is their Gotra? Many people don't know what is their Gotra, what is their Varna. As a result, the individual goes through plenty of problem situations in his or her life. Some of them are like, despite having a lot of talents, the person may not be able to grow in the way he is expected to grow. This creates plenty of other tensions for him as well as his family. Secondly, any important thing in the family, the first thing one has to approach is the Kuladevata. So I'm just sharing this for the benefit of the viewers who cannot understand Tamil. Okay, this week I'll be talking about negative energy, negativity. We will be discussing about black magic, how to get out of it, because plenty of people have requested me to post a lot of videos about what it is, how one can get out of it, and so on. So this video is basically for those who are affected with it and who do not know what is a way out of getting out of black magic and so on. So I'll be talking a lot. You can also post your questions. I will also answer your questions. Plus, many people have also requested me that I cannot, right now my financial position is very bad, so I cannot afford my fee or other things. So for them, this session is organized so that they can at least get some clarity or get some guidance. Because there are plenty of mantras I've already put for the benefit of Labhakshema. You can ask your, type your questions. I will answer it to the extent possible. Okay. Now, so I have, let me begin by talking about the importance of Kuladevata. It's the worship of Kuladevata and so on. Yeah. So, the consequences of not worshipping the Kuladevata properly. I'm sharing this in English so that last week, those people who have missed out, because last week it was in Tamil, so for their benefit, I'm sharing it in English. Kuladevata is the foundation of a person's life. When an individual or a family doesn't worship the Kuladevata properly, as the ancestors are worshipped, then the person goes through plenty of problems and challenging situations. The person might have very good education, but he will not be able to grow despite having all the talents and skills. He or she will fall a prey to negativity and negative energy and negative forces, will have a troubled family life with absolutely no bonding or togetherness in the family. Husband will face east, wife will face north, children will face south. Absolutely no unity in the family, no togetherness, no bonding within the family. The person will not have a stable job, or even if he's having a stable job, he'll not be able to settle down in the job properly. He will not be able to perform properly in the job. The person may not get the desired break he or she deserves to get. Complete stillness and absolutely no liveliness in his life. The person will get into a debt trap despite working very hard, despite favorable planetary positions. The person will have a very troubled financial life as well. A simple wind will be like a tsunami for him. So the person has to worship the Kuladevata properly. Otherwise, a small wind will be like a tsunami in his life. Not knowing the Kuladevata or Kuladevam or Kuldevi, as it is called in certain places, Grama Devata, as it is called in a few places, the person will not be able to follow the traditional practices which the ancestors had followed. Delay in getting into wedlock, childlessness, the person will have plenty of problems. Not being successful in overall aspects of life. There'll be plenty of blocks in a person's life. There'll be plenty of blocks where the person may not be able to inherit the ancestral property, or even if he inherits, he will not be able to sustain it. So, why somebody should worship the Kuladevata? The answer is very simple. Our ancestors, they have worshipped the Kuladevata. They've made a prayer to the Kuladevata that me and the subsequent generations to come, we will worship you. You in turn protect us from all the various doshams, shapas and papas, from the negative energy, negative forces. Please be with us. Give us all the necessary protections. So that bonding has been created by our ancestors. And when we go to the ancestral temple, it is believed that our ancestors will visit the temple to bless us. Let me make one thing very clear. If the ancestors' blessings are not there, no matter what, you will never be able to prosper in your life. Because if they decide, they can even stop the divine energy coming to you. Your ancestral god can be male or female gods, doesn't matter. Once a year at least, you must make a pilgrimage to your ancestral god. How it has to be done is such that you can visit multiple temples before visiting your ancestral god. But the moment you visit your ancestral god, from there you have to get back to your house straight. There is no other temple you should visit. No other person's house you must visit. From the ancestral temple, straight to your house. Any auspicious occasion, as per our dharma, we have to worship the Kuladevata. So a particular lamp is kept exclusively where we invoke the Kuladevata, apart from the Kulaguru, Lord Ganesh, and so on. So that has to be followed very sincerely, very dedicatedly. Before marriage, there are certain segments in which you're expected to worship the ancestral god before you continue with the wedding or any other good occasion. To protect a person or an individual or a family from the ill effects of the planetary positions and bad karma, worshipping of the Kuladevata is must and mandatory. Even if Lord Yama has to take a person from this earth, he has to get the permission of the Kuladevam before he performs his duties. So I hope this video is very clear about not worshipping the Kuladevata properly. I have shared this in English. So now if you have any questions, you can ask me before I move on to the next particular topic. You can type your questions in the chat box. I will answer. I'll wait for 2 minutes. before I carry on with my other topic. You can type your questions in the chat box. If you have any other questions, type it in the chat box. I will answer. Okay. This week, the topic of discussion is going to be negative energy, negativity, black magic energies, and so on. How it affects a person's life, how it affects a person's progress. That is what we'll be discussing in this week. First of all, what is negativity? Negativity is something which creates a kind of a pessimism or a pessimistic thought in a person. The person only sees the worst case scenario, doesn't see the best case scenario in any situation, under any circumstances, under any environment. He only sees the negative side of the life, doesn't see the positive side of life. Suppose somebody is affected by negativity. How to help the person? For those of you who are affected with negativity or negative energy or negative environment or black magic energy, I have already shared plenty of mantras in my channel. You can like and subscribe to my channel. You can listen to those mantras. Now, what is negativity? How do you get out of it? First of all, what are all the places where it gets affected? What are all the indicators? How do you know that you have been affected with negativity? Everything, you have a lot of talents. Everyone was born with innate talents. Fortunately or unfortunately, very few use your innate talents. Many do not use the innate talent, God-gifted talent to you for various reasons. One, you might be in a wrong profession. You might be forced to take up certain things for your survival needs, etc., etc. Despite having talents, you will not be able to grow. No matter how much effort you put in, you are not able to grow. You will be put through plenty of challenging situations. As I said, what is like a small wind will sound like a tsunami to you. You will start seeing everything negatively. You don't see the positive side of your life. Despite having all the necessary materialistic comforts, or despite having all the comforts, you will not be able to enjoy the joy of life. Despite having a beautiful family, beautiful support system, you will not be able to enjoy the joy of life. Despite having worked in a good company, despite working in a good company, or despite having a very good business, you will not be able to grow. This could be for various reasons. There are various things which are used to cast a spell on a person's life. To explain it better, you visit any website, okay? Let us say www.abc.com. Well, the moment you enter that abc.com, it says, this website uses cookies. If you're fine, you accept it. Else you can leave. This is the general message. I'm not getting into the exact choice of language. Okay? When you encounter something like this, you have no choice but to accept it. So what is the role of the cookies? It will keep probing. It will pull out a lot of information about what you are doing, which websites you are visiting, what are all the products you are ordering, what is the pattern of your behavior when it comes to ordering the products, what time to what time you order the products. Like that, there are plenty of information it pulls out and it gives it to the appropriate people. Similarly, there is a particular demigod called Karna Pishashini Yakshini. Its job is basically to tell the person who has casted the spell and the person who has sent it to your space. What it does is it tells, okay, so and so is calling and talking to this person. A is calling B. A is visiting this particular website. A is applying for a job through this particular portal. Like all the information, it keeps sharing with the person who had sent it to you. That is why people think they have gotten to a space where the enemy is beyond defeat. You cannot defeat the enemy. And you cannot win over the enemy. And many other perceptions it will create. It is called Kankatti Vidyai in Tamil. You get into a kind of an illusionary world which may not be real, Maya, as it is called. I have got one question from MEMS Ravi Kumar. How to perform Ganesh Subramanian? Ganesh, I will type my email ID. You can type your questions and send it to us because I'm not able to get your question. So mention your phone number, send your question to yeah. So what happens is it keeps on giving, okay, this person is typing this particular message. This person is talking to so-and-so. It will give all the necessary message to the person who had sent it. So that is why most of the people think they cannot get out of certain things and so on. It's not so. See, in Shastras, there are various things mentioned. If somebody has sent a yakshini, there are various ways to still it. There are various ways to get out of the problem. So if you focus on the possibilities, the problem will not exist. If you focus on the problem, the possibilities will not exist. So where you focus is what you become. Okay. Now, there are other things which happens because of negativity. The first place to be hit is your Muladhara. Mula Adhara, base support. Okay. Who's your base and who's your base support? Your family, your friends. They will go away from you. Instead of accepting it, you will be rejecting them. Instead of going closer to them, you will move away from them. And that causes a lot of concern because if our Sanatana Dharma is such that we are always together, whether you like it or do not like it, all the functions, all the festivities, everything is being done to bring everyone closer. Okay? But when you move away from people, what happens? You become alone. And when you're alone, you're most prone to psychic attacks. You will have plenty of psychic attacks. You will have plenty of other things that happens in your life. As a result, you feel a perception will be created that the negativity is super strong and you cannot win over it. That is again another thing which happens. So to overcome this, I've already shared a couple of mantras in my YouTube channel. You can listen to it. Second, relationship. Couples who are together, when there is a spell that takes place in their life, couples who are together there are every possibilities that they will split. There'll be no reason, for some silly reasons, strange reasons, they will split. Okay? They will not see the brighter side of their life. They will only see the darker side. What a person doesn't have, predominantly scarcity-based thoughts, scarcity-based approach, scarcity-based life. See, today, I have a good family. Thank goodness for it. That contentment factor will be missing miserably. Instead, what will happen? The wife didn't do this, the wife didn't do that, the husband didn't do this, the husband didn't do that. So the focus is more on complaints rather than compliments. Okay? So it affects the Mooladhara. Next place to be hit is the Swadhisthana. In fact, it hits all the 7 chakras. I'm coming one by one. Either there will be too much of intimacy or no intimacy at all, which is also one possibility. Another area to be focused on is the stomach. They have plenty of problems with respect to digestion, or with respect to some or the other disease, with respect to their health. In particular, stomach-related areas, like in case of a man, the liver, indigestion, kidney problems, kidney stones. There'll be some or the other things which will happen. Every report will say it is normal, but the person goes through some or the other problems. Another important place to be hit is the Vishuddhi chakra, your self-esteem, self-confidence, self-image, self-acceptance, self-love, etc., etc. All those things belonging to the Vishuddhi chakra. Your communication will be hit tremendously, drastically. As a result, the person will not be able to communicate what he had intended to communicate. See, there are 2 forms of communication. Intended communication, perceived communication. What I intend to convey, how the other person has perceived it. So if there is a mismatch in this, then the other people surrounding him will automatically move away from him, because they feel this guy is sober to deal with. As a result, they will move away from him. So instead of going closer to people, the person will be rejecting people and moving away from the people. Another chakra to be hit is the Ajna chakra, the chakra of intuition. Okay, everything will be in front of you, but you will not be able to see it. It's like, just imagine there is a mesh kind of a thing that is coming, and you're, even though I'm seeing the screen, but I'm not able to see you all. Even though I'm sitting in front of the system, let's imagine there is a mesh here. You will be seeing the mesh rather than me. How will it be? So this is again another thing that happens when there is this negativity and so on. If you have any questions so far, just ask me in the chat box, I will answer. Why Vishuddhi chakra? Why it is hit? This is you, the individual. This is you, the role. What happens is, when there is a spell that has been cast, the you, the individual, the you, which is your role, both will get aligned. So as a result, your self-worth will be hit. Self-worth will lead to worthlessness, helplessness, hopelessness. Okay? So it is like when your self-esteem is hit, your self-confidence is hit, your self-image is hit, your self-acceptance is hit, self-worth is hit. Everything that is connected with your Vishuddhi chakra, including communication, would be hit. As a result, there will be plenty of communication gaps when you talk to that individual concerned. So this is again another thing that happens. when there is a problem of negative energy or negativity or black magic energy. Okay, let me take some questions before I get on to the next particular topic. I'll give you 2 minutes so that you can type your questions. Okay, relationships. How negativity, negative energy, black magic energy, etc. affects the relationship in particular. If you look at the negativity, there are 10 facets to it. Yantra, mantra, tantra, vashikarna, vidveshana, uchadana, stambana, mohana, marana, shantikarna. What happens is couples who are together, when this nonsense of negativity, negative energy, negative environment takes over, it rules and ruins their life. Couples who are together would be separated. That separation would expand a lot to more. From a point of being together like this, they will split, then they'll move away from each other, and they will move away completely so that they don't see eye to eye. This is one of the problems of negativity. Okay, the first place where the split happens would be the intimate place, in the bed, where most of the times the intimate life goes to a complete standstill. Okay, because that is where most of the problem starts between a husband and a wife. So there'll be complete no intimacy or no intimate life at all. Okay, which is the first area of concern. Second, the person's self-esteem is completely hit. As a result, there'll be a lot of communication on that is Vishuddha Chakra problems. The person is not a threat, but he'll be perceived as a threat. The person, instead of accepting, he will start rejecting people. He will, push the people away from him. Instead of being a magnet for attracting people, he will be pushing people away. He will be rejecting people away from him. Third, because of finances, the person will not be able to enjoy all the materialistic comforts, which is also another reason for the person to get into a problem. Four, the person does a lot of unproductive networking. He'll be talking to plenty of people who are drainers of his energy, rather than people who inspire, motivate, encourage, see the bright side of the other person. You won't be with such people. You will be surrounded by people who are pessimistic, see the worst case scenario in everything, his upbringing, the parental influence, environmental influence in the way he has been brought up. All these things matters a lot. As a result, the person would not be able to grow despite having all the talent in the world. Okay, let me listen to a couple of questions. Type your questions, I will answer. I'll give you 2-3 minutes. If you have any questions, ask me. I have 2 more minutes. I can answer some questions before I can continue with the topic. I have a humble request. Kindly like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Anarghyaa TV, in YouTube. And I thank you all for all the wonderful support you have provided us for a long time. And I look forward to your continued support and patronage. Some of the mantras have crossed 2+ lakhs and still counting. Appreciate all your support. Do write to us at anarghyaa.com@gmail.com with all your queries. We will respond at the quickest possible time. Our WhatsApp numbers have already been shared in various mantras. So if you have any questions, send us a WhatsApp message. We will answer it. Okay, I'll stop it at this because in the coming week, again, every Sunday, I'm coming live. I will answer all your questions, if any, through my live program, live question and answer session. Thank you so much for all your support. Ravi Kumar, do write to us with your email ID. We will respond to you at the earliest possible time. Typically, our TAT is 24 to 48 hours. We will respond at the earliest possible time. Thank you. All the best. Guru Kataksham, Ambal Anugraham Paripurna.